Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Badass Unscripted. Today I want to speak to you about choosing scary. Choosing scary means to me that we make a choice every day to be comfortable with the uncomfortable, to go into the fear zone, in the place where we normally might choose to avoid. You know, we talk a lot about fear, especially on my show. I love to talk about fear and the impact that it has on our performance. I think it's important to understand that. I think it's important to know what fear can do to people, how it affects the decisions that you make, and how those decisions then impact the results that you get. But one of the big mistakes that we make is that we try to live to avoid fear. So the common dialogue, especially in big organizations, is what can we do so that people feel safer? And the temptation is to do things that avoid the scary. And that's a huge mistake. I'll tell you why it's a huge mistake. Because if we become conditioned to things being comfortable, we crave comfort. And that's where we have a problem. See, because nothing happens until you learn how to confront your fear and to manage that feeling, and then to do things differently. I'll give you an example. Coming here and saying, okay, I had the idea to do an episode on confronting fear or choosing scary today, but I'm also doing this live on Instagram. So pick up a camera, don't care how my hair looks, don't really care about anything except just getting it out there. I'm going to make the episode and I'm going to publish whatever comes up within the hour. That's hard. When you turn the camera on, there's the sense immediately that you're being watched, that you're being judged. Do I look good enough? Do I sound smart enough? All of those things constitute a form of fear. But if you don't confront them and choose to do scary things, you don't grow. I've done hundreds of episodes of podcasts. I'm really comfortable in front of a microphone. But what I'm not comfortable with is putting myself out there on social media. So what could I do that's scary, that's different, that moves the needle forward? Now here's another example. We have to learn as coaches, scrum masters, practitioners, entrepreneurs, leaders, to ask hard questions. There's so much content out there. And I say this at the beginning of my show. There's so many resources about what you need to do to be agile. It's the same stuff over and over, right? What color talking stick should I use in stand-ups? What are the scripts that I need to say during retrospectives to make them go better? Should my team have 8 people or 6 people or 10 people? Those are common discussions. We've already had them before. There's less value in repeating those discussions and way more value to be gained by asking the harder questions. Here's an example. What if you were to go online and say, should we be doing Agile anymore? That's a confronting question. That's a challenging question. And if you're willing to ask those questions, then you'll be rewarded with answers and insights that help you move the dial, help you serve your customers better, help you serve the community better. And those things are important things. In addition to asking the hard questions, it's also about doing the unexpected. It's about going before you're ready. It's about leaping before you look. Now, these things are all inherent in Agile. We know these are the lessons we're supposed to be learning, but do we do them? Are these real practices? When you ask hard questions, when you do the unexpected, when you lead people into discomfort, then you have an opportunity to make real change. See, because if you don't ask the hard questions, if you don't do the difficult things, if you don't choose scary stuff, like literally wake up every day and say, what can I do that terrifies me and keeps me terrified for most of the day? Until you act that way, nothing new happens. Do you get it? We don't put new stuff into the landscape. We don't have success stories to tell. We can't model awesome, courageous behavior to other people because we're doing comfortable, predictable, repeatable things. And those things have considerably less value. So allow me to ask you this question. If you're not doing scary things, if you're not choosing scary, and I get that people will say, hey, you can't be living on the edge of your fear all the time. Isn't that really stressful? It is until you get comfortable with being uncomfortable. I'm not talking about constantly activating that part of your nervous system that thinks you're about to die. I'm saying stretch so that you can be more okay with leaning into things that you're not already good at, with going into the unknown, not knowing what the reaction is going to be. Because what happens is, as you get good at this, it's just like skydiving. I'm sure the first time you do it, it's got to be terrifying. But over time, I'm willing to bet it becomes second nature. And a lot of those fears that are associated with jumping out of a perfectly good airplane start to disappear. So why can't we do that as practitioners? Why can't we say unpopular things? Why can't we ask difficult questions? Why can't we encourage our teams to push more, to do more, to try harder, to explore, to set a higher bar for themselves, to increase our productivity, to increase your velocity, to challenge ourselves, to take on new things that otherwise or previously we were not good at? It's only when you do that that you create real value and you put a nice attachment, a good association with Agile in the first place. Because look, if all you do is put an Agile t-shirt on, go into a place, declare yourself Scrum Master or Agile Coach, and then repeat the behaviors that we're already comfortable with, you're not serving the customer, you're not serving Agile, so you're not serving the community. And I'm willing to bet you're not going to serve your clients. It's not better, it's just different. Well, if you're going to be different anyway, be exponentially different. Explore new terrain. Do difficult, challenging things. Be bold, be courageous. Live inside your fear zone until fear becomes the new normal, and then choose scary again. So that's my question for you today. What could you do that puts you in your fear zone, that's scary for you right now, today, right here? Go ahead and do it, and then report back. See, here's the thing. I'm speaking to people. I know there's some people who will hear this and say, this all sounds good, but I'm not comfortable with this choose scary thing. I get it. I'm speaking to the 1% of the population that will hear this and get it and say, yes, that's me. If that's you, we need you. We need you making these choices. We need you leaning into your fear zone to increase what we do as a community, to increase the value of this thing that we do called agility. It's that 1% that I need to come on board with me. So tell me about your challenges. Tell me how you chose scary today, and tell me what changed because you changed. All right, guys, that's it for today. You can find me at badassagile.com, on Instagram at badassagile, on Twitter at badass_agile, and at Clubhouse. Search for the Badass Agile Club. I love you all, and I can't wait to see you next time. Till then, stay badass.